I don't know what the hell's going on in this series. Cavs versus Pistons. I mean, I don't know. Because in game four, the Cavs just came out and it just did not look good. James Harden came out strong, but that was about it. Donovan Mitchell was nowhere to be found. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, nowhere to be found. And then in the second half, Donovan Mitchell, that's what Donovan Mitchell is. The Cavs, I feel like, have tried to make Donovan Mitchell into this like playmaking, like get the ball in his hand, create for yourself and create for others. He's not that. He is a guy that is a bucket getter. He can get you 40 in the playoff, and he's done it a good amount of time. But the problem is they try to get him in the pick and roll and create for Strus and this guy. I think the Cavs' best offense is when James Harden's out there running the pick and roll and playing with the ball, and then Donovan Mitchell's off the ball. So James Harden can do what he does. He can create an open three for Mitchell or for somebody else. And then also, when Mitchell does get the ball, he's not playing against a set defense. He don't have 10 eyeballs on him. He can pump fake a guy, get to the rim, and he don't got to deal with 5 guys. He's got to deal with 1, maybe 2 guys. So, yeah, I think getting Mitchell off the ball, making Mitchell a scorer, which is what he is. He's not a playmaker. He don't create for everybody else. He can create for himself, and that's what he's best at. Speaking of James Harden, though, going back to the James Harden point, when I've watched them, when the Cavs are at their best, James Harden is getting the ball in the paint. And he don't got to shoot a great percentage. Like, he shot 8 of 21 in game 5. But if you ask me how well he played, I'd say he played great. And I know he had 38 and 6, but he shot 38%. And most people are like, oh, he didn't play well. No, he played great. He got in the paint, he got to the foul line, and he created for others while also scoring 30 points for himself. Really orchestrated the offense. And yeah, like that's when that's when they win, is when James Harden can get everybody else involved, get paint touches, get Mitchell off the ball, and James Harden can be the create for everybody else guy, and Mitchell can just be the scoring guy. Mobley, I don't know, because Mobley is odd to me because I don't know. I don't see enough of what I saw in the second half of game 4 when he dominated the game on the defensive end. And if you look at a stat line, you go, oh, 17 and 8, I think like 5 blocks, 3 blocks, something like that. But watching him in that game, I was like, that's an elite level performance. He controlled the game defensively and did not let the Pistons get in the paint. And that's what I want to see with Mobley. Like, I want him to be better offensively. Like, I want a 20 and 10 guy. But the way he's built and his quickness and athleticism and feet and hands, he needs to be one of the best defensive players. He needs to be a top 5, top 3 defensive player in the league. And that's what we saw in the second half of game 4. And he played pretty well again in game 5. But if they really want to win a championship, he's got to be an elite defender. Like I said, top 5, top 3 defender. What have been your thoughts so far on this, the last couple games at least in the series?
Yeah, it's been an interesting series for the Cavs and Pistons. A lot of this reminds me of playoff style basketball. It's been very good defense played on both sides. I'll start off on the Pistons side. It's really simple. Outside, when Kate Cunningham, let's just say he's having a bad game, it's hard for this Pistons to win games because they don't have a lot of guys that can create offense for themselves and others. And Kate's he's been magnificent for most of the series. But outside of him, like Tobias is the only guy who can really create off the dribble. And we saw him the last few games not come out how he did prior in the playoffs. So I think Pistons are doing everything they need to do on the defensive end, but they're sort of limited on the offensive side of the ball there. As far as the Cavaliers go, we know they play better at home. We saw them actually, game 3, game 4, and game 5 got their first road win in game 5 of the whole entire playoffs. But yeah, in game 4 specifically, we saw a tale of two halves for Donovan Mitchell. a guy that, like you said, he's not a guy that's gonna facilitate or needs to facilitate for others, but he can get a bucket anytime he wants to. Had a terrible first half, maybe his worst of any playoff game with 4 points. Couldn't get anything to fall, and then he followed that up with a huge second half performance, scoring almost 40 points in just the second half alone there. But yeah, we're seeing James Harden. He's been more aggressive coming out like he did on the Rockets. He's just been ultra aggressive, forcing the issue, trying to get paint points, and he did a great job of in game 5 and game 4 of getting to the free throw line. 14 and 9 attempts in those 2 games respectively there. So yeah. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen's been hit or miss this series. They need to play decent enough for these guys to win. And yeah, back to the Pistons side. I mean, Jalen Duren's been a no-show for most of the playoffs, and he's a guy where his numbers have significantly dropped off from the regular season to the playoffs. A guy that he just needs to do what he's doing in the regular season. I think he's letting his offensive side, like the Cavs are stacking the box in the paint, and he's just not getting a lot of paint touches, but I think he's letting that affect him on the rebounding side. I feel like for a guy like him, like you don't need to there doesn't need to be plays ran for you. You're a guy that can crash the offensive glass and get some putbacks to get your offensive game going. But he's really been a no-show. I don't even think he's like trying on the offensive end. So they need more out of him. But yeah, Cavs up 3-2 now. A little surprising. They got their first road win, like I said. Um, but yeah, the others I feel like for it I think it's been pretty even as far as the bench roles go for both teams. I think Strus has played very very excellent as well for the Cavaliers, but yeah, it's been a fun series. I think Pistons tie it up, and there will be a game 7 in this series. So
No, yeah, the last couple things on this series. Yeah, Struess, he is the epitome of making winning plays. I mean, every time they needed a big three to stop a run or start a run, he hit it. He got every 50-50 ball. I mean, that guy plays hard. Like I said, he's the epitome of a guy you need to win your champion. Or if you're going to win a championship, you need guys like that on your team. And another thing, sticking with the Cavs, Harden, you can know how good of a game Harden's going to have. It feels like in the first 5 minutes. When he comes out aggressive, trying to get paint touches, and then off his paint touches, getting the step back jump shot, which he can get at any time. Like that, you know how good he's going to be by how aggressive he is early in the game. And then one last thing on the Pistons. The problem is, like, they don't have anybody that's consistent enough. Like Tobias Harris has stretches where, yeah, I mean, he'll score 3-4 buckets in a row in the post, turnaround jump shots. And then you'll have Jenkins come down, score a couple buckets, have a couple assists, but nobody on the Pistons besides Cade can consistently be that number 2 option, and that's been a big problem. And honestly, Cade has played great, but he's had some bad stretches, though, too, of just being loose with the ball. I mean, it's not just been him. It's been everybody, but I've seen it happen to him a bunch. The amount of times I've just seen a lazy pass that gets tipped and leads to a dunk at the other end. I mean, in this series alone, I think it's happened more in this series than any series in the playoffs. So, yeah, somebody's got to step up consistently. It can't just – and Cade's got to stop being loose with the ball too, because he's at almost 6 turnovers per game, and a lot of them are just careless that can't happen and that lead to buckets on the other end. And
yeah, to your point on that, yeah, Cade, he's definitely been a little loose with the ball. He's had 4+ turnovers in every game in the playoffs. And I know turnovers are going to happen for a high volume guy like Cade who has to facilitate and score for your team. But like you said, like a lot of these are there's a difference between forced turnovers and unforced. It seems like a lot of Cade's turnovers, especially this series, have been unforced turnovers where you're trying to make something happen that's just not there. So yeah, Cade does have to be better on the offensive end in terms of facilitating and not turning over the ball.
Well, yeah, and the thing that's made Cade's turnovers per game worse is like they're not like they're simple passes where he just throws a lazy pass, tries to float it over a guy, gets tipped, and it leads to a dunk at the other end. Like I'm okay with guys having somewhat high turnovers per game because they're trying to hit a backdoor pass or they're trying to
Hmm.
hit a cross court. But like when they're just lazy passes that lead to buckets at the other end, that's when I have a problem with 6 turnovers a game when your 6 turnovers per game are leading to 10 points for the other team. Like that's when I have a problem with it. And one final thing with the Pistons, we've been kind of crapping on them. Thompson, I mean, I know Wemby's great, but Thompson's at least, at the worst, the second best defender in the league. I mean, that dude is unbelievable. As a wing defender, to be able to guard 1 through 4 and then block some of the shots he blocks, gets his hands on everything, doesn't foul either. Like, he's one of those guys that I didn't watch much of in the regular season, but watching him in the playoffs, it's like, I mean, defensively, I ain't seen a guy this good in really quite some time. But man, he's been awesome this playoff. Oh, fine. Last thing, was that a foul at the end of Game 5?
Mm, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think
I
he
mean,
got him.
I can't. I wouldn't have been mad either way. Like I really wasn't mad that they
Yeah,
didn't call it, and now I get to watch an overtime game. But if they would have called it, I'd be like, I mean, fair enough, he tripped him.
yeah. I'm gonna go.
But
Yeah, I think
yeah,
he did.
it was kind of 50-50. I didn't really care either way.